30, where we are on a mission.
You guys already know. We're on a mission to give you guys the blueprint of how to become a millionaire before 30 years old. I'm Ryan Zolin.
I am Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, and in the hot seat, as always, is our man, Albert Bowie.
Bowie.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
We are excited. We're going to go through the 75-day challenge. Before we do, check out what's going on in Ryan's Discord right here. People are taking action on this 75-day challenge and getting results.
Let's go.
All right? And you know what I love about this, Ryan? I love that people are brave enough to post what's going on, to encourage other people. Hey, listen, I'm out there. I'm taking action. I'm following this instruction, and it is working. I think it's so powerful.
Absolutely. I think we talked about it in the last episode, but there's like a serious value when you could come in and be genuine, vulnerable, authentic, and it's something I wish I did more when I first started in real estate. If I could go back and document the journey and the struggles, not only would it be vulnerable and help me create like a genuine audience, it would also let me go back now 6 years later and be like, damn, look at how far I've come.
Yep. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the top list to go after this year. All right, and how to do it with no marketing budget. This isn't like a driving for dollars. This isn't an app thing. This isn't a, pull a list and go after specific properties type of strategy.
Yep.
All right, we're going to really deep dive. But before we do that, we want to refresh everybody on what this 75-day challenge is. If this is your first time seeing it, start today.
Yep.
If you started a few weeks ago when we started this challenge, fantastic. We want to know about the results that you're having. We want to know about the actions that you're taking. So if we can pop it up, do we have it, Matt? Here we go. 75-day wholesale challenge. And by the way, guys, we switched this up so it's a lot easier to download and to print. And this is at ttpinsider.com, ttpinsider.com. And we start here. Number one, this will work if you do. This will work if you do, right? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. That is old school Napoleon Hill, right? Think and Grow Rich. It is, Think and Grow Rich is one of those like top 5 entrepreneur books of all time, right?
Sure.
So, but it's the truth. What are you putting into your head? What are you focusing on? Do you believe that the actions that you're taking is going to move you forward and bring progress into your business?
For sure.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Yep. Number 2, you got to block out the time. You got to block out the time, right? 15 hours a week. Now, I really want to push you to 20 hours a week, but listen, I understand. We all have different responsibilities. We all have different things going on. Maybe you're doing this part-time, but you need to find that 15 hours out of the 168 hours in a week that you have, less than 10% of your time out there taking action, proactive action every single day to go out there and find people that you can serve.
For sure. And I love how you said that. Find people you could serve. Also find people you could resonate with. That's number 3. Reconsider who you spend time with. During these 75 days, you need to be around people that are going to challenge you in a way that's going to better you. Being around people that are going to support you, that are going to encourage you to go out and take chances and do the things that we're telling you to do in this challenge. As it says on here, spending time with people who want similar things as you will help you go farther faster. Surround yourself with people who will motivate and encourage you on your pursuit to financial freedom. You are who you surround yourself with. Remember that.
Yep.
The next one is get lean, cut spending. I can't tell you how many times I see like on there people Friday, Saturday nights, they're out bottle service, they're buying new watches, the new pair of shoes every week. Stop spending money that you don't have. Remember, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. So get lean, cut your spending. If you get an assignment fee, but don't keep any of that money after it hits your account, you won't be farther ahead than you are today. Find areas where you can cut spending so that you can invest more. Understand that.
Yeah, and listen, you're either saving it, you're spending it, or you're investing it.
Yep.
I mean, that is what it is. Just understand when you're in this hustle season of your life, when you're really building the momentum behind your business, right? You need to watch where you're putting your money. And it's not just bottle service and all the fun and entertainment. It's also, going out there and trying to buy tools or buy like a silver bullet to be able to find deals for you. And it just does not happen. Listen, hard work. Hard work, going out there and having quality conversations is what is going to make you successful. That brings us to number 5, 200, 100. Just write it down. Keep it everywhere. 200, 100. Talk to 200 distressed property owners. 200 of the ugliest houses that you can find in your marketplace. That's what we want you to talk to. You got to go out there and talk to those property owners because they have to make a decision on that property at some point. At some point, they have to sell that property. You're looking at it and you're saying, okay, this is a distressed situation because of the condition of the property. You need to talk to those people. And like you're the expert at talking to the agents.
That's it.
You got to talk to agents. You have to build your squad. You have to build your database of people that are going to bring you business. We're going to really break this down here on the second part of this, but we want to get through this. That is number 5.
For sure.
Yep.
This next one, like Brent said, working with real estate agents is a hack that we have mastered. Understand that if you go and you visit 3 open houses a week, this is going to be gold. This is a serious nugget that I don't think enough people talk about on shows. But if you visit open houses, you are going and you're seeing what trends are in the houses that are selling. You're seeing agents that are working hard. And more importantly, you're making connections with people that are agents that are obviously in this industry trying to get the next deal. Remember, I've talked about this on shows. When they are doing the open house, their goal, obviously, yes, if they can sell the house they're doing the open house for, great. But their goal is not to sell that open house. It is to find clients. When you walk in, you introduce yourself to the agents and you tell them what you're looking for, you'd be surprised how many of them might have a TV up and a laptop. They'll pull everything up right then and there and say, let's write some offers while you're here. Understand that there's a serious value in going to the open houses.
The other thing is, you know, in a lot of brokerages, real estate brokerages, they have kind of pocket listings.
Yes.
Right? They have a list of people that they're not really ready to put their house on the market, but it's coming down. It's going to be at some point. They've thought about selling, but they just, you know, it's not really there yet unless they get the right offer. Go and see if they have some pocket listings that need some love, that need the renovation, that are older and dated, right? Those are the ones that have potential equity. You can get into those deals and get those potential equity. And you need to, number 7, have a small reward. Under $500, whatever it is. If it is an experience, is it a dinner, is it something fancy that you want to buy that's under $500 to reward yourself when you do this 75-day challenge. Have it right there. Have it in front of you. Be like, you know what? I'm going to do this 75-day challenge. And I'm going to buy this reward at the end. This keeps a couple different things. One, you're gonna find so many different opportunities in the next 75 days that you're gonna be like on cloud 9. You're gonna be feeling. You're gonna be in the flow state, okay? But when you're there and you're closing these deals and you're getting things done, I don't want you to go bananas and spend something, buy something crazy that's thousands of dollars. Have something at $500 that you can reward yourself. You get to have that feeling of reward without going too far and staying disciplined.
Absolutely. Next one, do you?
Yeah, squad up. Squad up. You got to find your team. You got to find the 5 people that are doing this business. You got to find people that can communicate with you. Listen, this is not normal, right? Wholesaling real estate is not in the normal conversations that we have with our friends and family and loved ones. So oftentimes we feel like we're on an island by ourselves. When we feel that way, we get very discouraged and very distracted easily, and doubt creeps in. Okay? You need to be around people that are positive, optimistic, and taking action. Find the 5 people. You can find them in the comments section here, right? You can find them during this show, the 5 people that you can squad up with. It doesn't have to be people that you can get knee-to-knee, belly-to-belly, face-to-face with. It could be people that you just are communicating virtually, or you're talking, or you're on a Zoom call or a Google Meetup, or you're doing FaceTime or whatever else. But just have some accountability partners.
For sure. And I mean, there's millions of places you could find it, which kind of leads into number 9. You could find them through social media. The more you post, the more active you are. I will tell you guys this, and I will repeat it over and over again throughout the shows. The one piece of advice that I got that really changed everything was when I started having a little bit of success, I had to get loud. As I got loud, it's not just being vulnerable and authentic and posting the struggles. Celebrate the little wins. Talk about what your passions are. Get just your phone out and just pull it out, and who cares? Document your journey and understand that the more active you are on social media, you'll be able to connect with even more people than you ever imagined possible. We talked about it at our meetup. We had a handful of people that were able to squad up in this challenge that were at the meetup. But then I was like, okay, well, this is great because our guest speaker, her whole thing was about social media and building an organic audience. Understand the tools and how to use them. Social media is a very powerful one.
Yeah, Stephanie Hunt is doing an incredible job of this. She's literally posting every single day to her YouTube channel, posting it everywhere on social media. It is incredible. And I honestly think, Ryan, I think number 9 is the hardest one for everybody.
For sure.
People will go talk to ugly property owners.
Without a
People
doubt.
will talk to real estate agents. They'll go find people. They'll connect with people. They'll go to the open houses, but I feel so awkward. I feel so weird turning the phone around and like, look at me, look at me. It's not a look at me type of thing. It's documenting what you're doing. Have some courage. And if you have conviction about this, we were talking about this. Albert and I were talking about this before the show. Conviction is so powerful. Like, people will support you if you have conviction. If you have conviction about what you're trying to do here, right? It's not just, oh, I'm going to go out there and make this money and this and this. I'm going to go out there and find somebody that needs some help. I'm going to go out there and see if I can clean up this neighborhood, or I can take this property that's been vacant and people keep breaking into it all the time, and help this property owner to get it off their plate and get somebody in there to do something special with it. And now the neighborhood feels fantastic about it.
Absolutely.
That's the conversations you have when you're getting loud. That's what you're turning it around saying.
For sure.
Yep.
And number 10, it's talking about not just taking care of yourself through meditation, reading books in the gym. Go and manifest and visualize and journal and do reflecting, where even if you aren't posting active like on social media with number 9, visualize it. Write it down. I will post on social media today. The more that you go and you take care of yourself, it says in here, whether you choose to meditate, read books, or get a heavy workout at the gym, taking care of your mind and body is a crucial aspect of being successful in life and business. Prioritizing your health naturally aligns the many other areas of your life. You obviously need to make sure that you're okay up in here. Home base is taken care of. That'll allow you to be fully efficient and more self-aware with what you're doing in your daily tasks.
I love it. I sum it up as keep your house clean.
Keep your house clean.
Keep your house clean. And that's literally your house, for sure, but also this house, right?
Home base.
This mindset. That's reading incredible books. That's listening to incredible podcasts. That's surrounding yourself with positive people. That's looking inside yourself and really focusing and really doing that self-work and that self-talk.
No, absolutely.
Self-talk is so
It's a tough
important.
one, too, for a lot of people.
Self-talk, oh my gosh, well, I'm a newbie. Stop it.
Already making
Stop calling
excuses.
yourself a newbie. Like that in itself is labeling yourself as like, I don't know if I'm going to take action or not, or I'm just getting into it. Or I'm stuck in paralysis analysis. I'm stuck in the education loop. Those are labels. How about I am an action taker? I called one person today. That's huge. Do you know how many people have never called one stranger in their entire life? Like, it's incredible. So, I mean, just take these action, get the small wins, and start being confident. Start building yourself up. That self-talk should be really, really, really positive, and that helps when you're around positive people that have that strong confidence.
Without a doubt. I always thought it was kind of cheesy when I first got into personal development of the affirmations. And I understand what it's like sometimes, even looking in the mirror, waking up being like, okay, do I have to actually say it out loud? The answer is yes. The more you actually are speaking it into existence, the more it starts to actually come into true reality.
Yeah.
So
I love it. So Albert, I'm going to put you on the spot here as we start transitioning to the best list of 2022. And basically, just to lay this out, it's getting referrals. Okay? It is getting people to send you business. Remember, there's 3 ways to get deals. Right? You can pay for people to call you. You can pay for opportunities for the actual owners of the property to call you. It's called marketing, right? It's called marketing. It's direct mail. It's pay-per-click. It's billboards. It's Facebook ads. Those are the big 4, right? Bandit signs, probably, if we want to put it in there in some of the markets that bandit signs are allowed, right? That's getting people to call you. It's reactive. It's constantly reactive. But it does work, and that's how a lot of businesses scale, because they can just pour more money in, get more deals coming in, and that's how you grow your business. It's fine. It's expensive, and most of the time when we're starting out, it's really tough to do. Unless you have a big budget, it's really tough to do. The second way is referrals. Referrals. This is people understanding what you're looking for, them going out there and finding it for you and sending it to you, because there's a win-win relationship there,
Absolutely.
right? And then the third way, but we'll get into referrals, but the third way is obviously being proactive. And I honestly think you've changed my mind on this a lot, both of you guys, is I always said it was door knocking and cold calling. I also think it's MLS deals.
Yeah.
I also think it's MLS deals and auction deals.
Yep.
I think that that's very proactive.
It is.
I think that all falls in that proactive approach because you're the one initiating it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Green
But let's
time.
talk about referrals. Albert, I gave you enough time to think about this. If you had to build your whole business off of nothing but referrals, what's the first action that you start taking? You know what I mean? How do you start? Who do you talk to? Who's the first calls that you make? Who are you reaching out to start that momentum so that people are starting to bring you opportunities?
Easiest one is open houses. The realtors at the open house. It literally says the house is open for you to walk in.
Well,
right?
by the way, you can find open house. There's open house listed on Zillow.
Yep.
On Zillow.
Every day.
Yep.
Every day, guys. It's on Zillow. Every single agent does it because that's the way that they get it out there.
Right, and it's completely free. So if I had $0 and 0 ways and I want to build completely referrals, I would visit every open house on the block. And if you want to combine number 10 into being healthy, get on a bike and just bike through the neighborhood.
Sure.
There you go.
Hey, if you want to be efficient with your time, go
love
bike
it.
through the neighborhood. Go
Yep.
stop at every single open house. Go talk to these agents that are holding open house. You know, flatter them a little bit. Say that their listing is beautiful. They're doing a fantastic job of listing it, and say, hey, what else do you do? I want to get in this game. I'm trying to be in this investment space.
Yep.
I represent a large amount of investors. How can we do business together?
Yeah.
And someone's going to hit. Someone's going to start sending you over and over and over. You're going to find that one hustler as soon as you're out there.
So what do you say? You walk in and you're like, hey, thank you for opening this house. I am an investor. I'm looking for deals.
I would walk
what
in.
approach would you have?
Here's how I would walk in, right? I'm walking in, of course, I always have that amazement look when I walk in every house. I'm like, whoa, like the, what is it, like deer in headlights look, right? And they're always going to come up to me, and the good ones will greet you and say, hey, welcome to the open house. Here's a sheet for you. This house is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet, fully remodeled, all that jazz, right?
Yep.
Go through the house a little bit, you know, come back, talk to them, say, wow, this listing's really beautiful. Do you work with an investor? Did you flip this? Because whenever I ask that, I've gotten feedback to where, oh, my husband actually flipped this. Or, yeah, I have one investor that I currently work with. That opens up the conversation now. So, oh, I'm actually in that business too. Like, where do you get your leads at? Are you looking to work with other investors? And another good line that I like to use is, do you like investors? I just put it out there, like very open-ended. Do you like investors? And they'll say, yeah, they're really good. It's like, well, perfect. I'm actually looking for something to actually flip myself. I want to be where you are in this position. And I'm working my way up. How can we do business together?
I love it.
It's open-ended. It's very authentic. And put them on your social media. Why not?
Yeah.
It's business for everybody.
That's awesome. Hey, I had a great conversation with this agent. Picture, message, done, right?
That's it.
I love it. I love it. Ryan?
Yeah, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
Yep.
So obviously, normally my approach would just be going to realtors, but to give you guys a little bit like another idea, there's 2 different people I'd reach out to that I think are very good opportunities to open up a lot more relationships. First one being a title company. We've talked about it before where you call them, hi, I'm newer to the area. I'm an investor trying to cover all my bases, make sure that I've got my relationships covered. Would you guys be familiar with investors? Like, are you familiar with assignment contracts, double closes? Asking them the right questions, which opens up the conversation once they say yes to, okay, who should I know in this market? They'll connect you with buyers. They'll connect you with realtors. They'll connect you with appraisers, whoever it is that you need. The next one I'd reach out to, believe it or not, I'd actually go to Google and I'd look up home inspectors. Because if they're home inspectors and they're going in, they get employed by real estate agents. If you call a home inspector and you say, hey, who's a good realtor I should know? They're obviously only going to refer you to the first realtor that comes to mind, which is probably somebody that they're at least doing somewhere between 2 to 5, if not more, inspections a month with. And what does that mean? That means that these agents are getting people under contract in this market 5 times plus a month. Those are agents that are active. Call them. The odds of them being on a team that is paying for the marketing, or they are somebody that is established and has a lot of referrals, either option, you're connected to what we're all looking for, which is deals.
And they know, I mean, they're going into some of these properties that are like
disgusting.
They have inspection reports that are thicker than this. You know what I mean? It's like a 100-page thing. It's a bloodbath of an inspection. And they're like, I don't even know if this will get a loan. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
It's
and they'll tell you which house is, like, I mean, a really good inspector. You may be able to like get so far in the conversation that you have that where you're like, hey, if there's ever a house that like you inspect that's so disgusting that the deal's about to fall apart, if you bring it to me, I'll split it with you. They're gonna be like, yeah, whatever, kid. They'll send it to you, and then you close and you give them half the money. They're like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong side.
Yep. How about going to the title company, which I love, saying who closes the most deals?
Yep,
right.
that's it.
Who's the best cash buyer that you see? Who's the biggest investor that you work with? And you can go to all the different title companies that do work with investors and find the top one. I want to start sending them deals, and then you have a conversation with that big time investor, big time cash buyer, and you go, okay, what are you looking for? Okay, fantastic. And then what you do is you go online, you go to Google, you go Wholesale Real Estate Phoenix, you get on everybody's mailing list, right? Everybody's, blast out every single day. You go on to Investor Lift, you sign up for that, you look at all these properties, you start getting into Craigslist, you start getting into Facebook Marketplace, you start looking for properties that this big time investor is looking for, and then you just match it up. You just play middleman. Oh, this person's trying to sell it. This person's trying to buy it. Those big-time cash buyers, yes, they're active. Yes, they have staff that are looking at things. There's plenty of deals that slip through the cracks that you can add $5,000, $10,000 on and sell it to those people as well.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you.
Love it.
Look at that. This is all free stuff. This is all things that don't require a huge budget. It's just taking action, going out there. I love that thought about the home inspector. I love the thought about open house. People sleep on open houses. People just don't go.
They don't.
They're just like kind of intimidated to be front. They're all dressed up, and the agents are all dressed up. It
That's
doesn't
probably
matter.
the one day a week that they're dressed up.
Most agents make less than people that serve you at a fancy restaurant. For real.
True.
And are you intimidated talking to a server at a restaurant? No. Well, it's the same energy. They want to serve you, find you deals so that they can get paid. Like, that's how it works.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And I love how what we just taught them was free.
Right.
like we're not the ones that are going to get up here and say, go buy this system, go buy this. Don't buy my course yet. Go and do all this stuff for free. Get 5 deals under your belt. Make mistakes. I'd rather people make mistakes on the deals with the opportunities that were given to them for free, where they're like, oh man, I messed up the conversation with the title company. I hung up on them because I was so embarrassed.
Yep.
Thank God that call did not cost you $200. Yep. This is literal gold for everyone. Just take action. That's it.
Love it. Guys, if you are getting value out of this, hit that like button. Let's give out some more shirts today. I like that. Let's give out some more shirts. Let's post into the group. If we get 150 likes, we're going to give out 2 TTP shirts today. Make sure you hit that like button and make sure that you're putting in the comment section any question that you have. Any question that you're going through, what you're dealing with, we want to answer. The show does not happen without you guys. Also, we want to ring that victory bell. So whatever action that you're taking, whatever progress that you're making, if it's locking up a deal, selling a deal, obviously that's the biggest bell rings, is when you get paid. We want to celebrate and recognize you. All right? So let's get active in the comment section. Make sure that we've got questions for us to answer because we're going to rip and run. We've got another hour to go. So let's do this. Ryan, with his hat forward. That's new. There you go. There you go. Yeah, okay.
Good call. Good call.
You turn it around. That's
No,
with the switch.
it's good. It's good.
You got to flip the switch.
I had to keep them on their toes.
That's it.
That's what it was.
Well, it's just branding. You know what I mean? Giancarlos, was cool seeing Ryan at Clever Summit. How was it?
Dude, it was so much fun.
Yeah?
The relationships and everything that we made, it was an experience that I think I'll forever be grateful that I had with the team.
Yeah?
Super cool.
With your team?
Yeah, we took the whole team.
You took your whole team, and was there a goal?
I mean, obviously,
Or is it just
it's to
network?
go and just network,
Yeah.
just to be around like-minded people, being around these kind of, again, seminars where you hear guys that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars speak on stage. It's cool to have the team that is still trying to adapt and get familiar with being around this kind of like money that they're like, oh my God, I could do this.
Of course.
So it was inspiring. It was cool. A lot of the people that have seen us through social media came over and introduced themselves. So it was really awesome.
That's a really interesting thing that you said that, because it's the truth. You know, you go and you see people that are making $2 million a year, $5 million a year, $10, $100 million a year. I've never thought, oh, I can't do that. Those guys are like, I went to the Suns game last night. I'm like, I can't do that for sure.
Right.
No matter how hard I
right.
try, no matter what's happening, I am never going to be the center for the Suns. You know what I mean? Never
Right.
going to play.
Right.
But business, Business, it's just putting in the work and staying consistent, staying focused, right? It's just not getting distracted and seeing what you have to do. Well, what you have to do is you have to find distressed property owners that want to trade potential equity in their house for speed and convenience.
That's it.
That's it. That's how you build this thing up. And then you could go bananas. You could go into all sorts of different things. Once you have that nest egg, once you have that machine built for sourcing deals, you can start building big buildings, big storage units like Andrew Abernathy, building apartment complexes, whatever, lending money, opening a bank. All of that stuff is within your reach. You just have to build the momentum and get that confidence and have that conviction.
I think that's it.
Without a doubt.
It's the confidence,
Seriously.
100%.
Like there's nothing physically stopping us.
No.
And the rules I mean, we are a free market society. We are allowed to go out and provide as much value as possible to make as much income as possible. It's incredible.
For sure.
Samantha B, as a new agent, what is the greatest value I can bring to investors?
Ooh.
Deals.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Let's go, Samantha.
Yeah, Samantha. So a couple different things. It just depends on if you want to focus on building your business as a real estate agent, which is fine. A lot of people do, and a lot of people find that rewarding. But you just understand you have different bosses, multiple bosses every week as you start getting really good. And you'll build out a team that does the work for you at some point. But when you list somebody's house or you're representing them as a buyer's agent, they're your boss.
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones making the decision.
Maybe a client, but no, they're the ones running the show.
They are.
They are.
They really are. So it's that, and that's fine. But on the flip side, find some deals. Wholesale some deals. What I would do if I were you is I would go out there, and this is exactly what I did for my first 3 deals, is I went out there, I door knocked, I found opportunities, and I brought it to the investor that I had. He paid me a commission. He made $92,000 on these 3 deals, and I made like $12,000. But I learned what was going on. I was able to peek like behind the curtain and see how they assigned the deal and who they were selling it to. And then I started adopting those buyers. Any of those buyers, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a conversation with these buyers, right? The buyers are like, they're not exclusive with one wholesaler or one other investor. All right, they're on Tinder. They're swiping.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
They're not committed.
Deal,
There's no ring on the finger. Yeah, that's it. They just want deals. So adopt all the buyers in your market. Another thing, just a quick little tip, if you want to add the best buyers to your cash buyer database, right? Go put yourself, like I suggested, put yourself on all those other wholesalers' blasts.
Oh yeah.
Follow the trail, like keep all those addresses that they're blasting out and into an Excel file, and then 30, 45 days later, go back, do a little bit of research on batch leads and see who bought those. Typically, it's going to be an LLC. Find who's the managing member of that LLC, reach out to them. Now you've got a cash buyer that you know is closing deals in this area.
Boom.
Right? That's all you got to do. Just find, oh, wait, there's a wholesale deal. They put it out at this price. I saw that it was actually bought at this price, right? Because it shows the recording price as that was on the purchase contract, not what they assigned it for, not what they blasted it out for.
Right.
So now you know, oh my gosh, these people are making a fortune here, and these are the buyers giving it to them. There you go.
From D Miles, when calculating offer price on an MLS property, do you use the same formula that you would use for an off-market property? Anyone? Yeah, I mean, so we calculate our offer the same way it would if it's off-market, if it's a referral, if it's a pocket listing, if it's on-market, because the numbers are what they are. So the thing that you have to understand with MLS deals, I think the reason why a lot of people get stumped on this is because a lot of times when you calculate your offer, you're like, that's a pretty big amount off of list.
Yep.
Yes, that's correct. You're probably targeting the ones that are day one on market where you're going up against retail buyers. Try targeting ones that have been sitting for a little bit. Even if it's 40, 50, 60K off, don't be discouraged. Albert and I just did a video yesterday where we were talking about his first deal. He got off the MLS. It was $120,000 off its list price. So understand the deals are out there. You just have to make sure the numbers make sense. But yes, calculating the same way.
And it depends on your buyers.
That too.
Right?
Yep.
Because you know you have buyers that are, what are your buyers doing with these properties? Is it Airbnbs?
We've got
Is it fix and flips? Is it like,
Right. We've got all of the above. So we have buy and hold.
Yep.
We have
Burr.
Yep. We've got Airbnb, like through Airbnb, through actual like long-term rentals.
Right.
We've got fix and flippers. We've got guys that are just looking like to get a bunch of money together and go and buy like multifamily.
Yep.
We've got all different kinds of buyers, and each one of them is going to have a different buy calculator of what they do themselves. So you just got to make sure you understand what your buyers are willing to pay, and then reverse engineer it.
That's it. And the more conversations you have with the buyers, the more it opens up the opportunities for you.
Right.
Because maybe they don't want to come that far down in price, but you can still make $5,000, $8,000, $12,000 on this deal because you know this buyer wants to buy Burr properties in this area or buy Airbnbs in this area. You know what I mean?
For sure. And I mean, what's the worst case scenario? They don't end up doing a deal with you on this one. If you then talk to another person, your odds of them coming back and bringing you another opportunity, even if it wasn't the one you were looking at first, it's pretty high.
Yep.
Like, get loud.
Awesome. Great question. From IG, all right, IG in the house. What is in a buy box and what information should we be gathering from buyers to then talk with agents and sellers? Great question, S. Matthews. A buy box is what are they looking for, right? What kind of properties, what area? There are certain cash buyers that only want to buy in a certain zip code, a certain city, a certain area, a certain geographical area. There's some buyers that'll do everything everywhere. But typically I find like the biggest and the strongest buyers, they stay in their lane. They'll pick a segment of the market and they'll be like, I want everything in this city, this area, right?
Yep.
And because the reason they do that is because it makes it a lot easier to organize their crews. Right? Their crews, if they only have to drive a couple miles to go to different projects, it's a lot easier and things get a lot more efficient than if they have to drive an hour or 2 hours and then they have to go over here the next day and it turns into a nightmare. So typically what they do is they want to stay focused. Am I right, Albert?
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
My two flips right now are a mile from each other. It's the best thing ever.
Exactly.
Back and forth.
Exactly. Yeah. How much are you going to make on those flips?
I'm hoping I hit under $500,000 in profit.
Uh-huh. Under?
Just under.
Well, I hope you make over $500,000. How about that? There you go. So you're saying between $400,000 and $500,000?
Yeah.
Somewhere
On those deals. Yeah, that's it. So the buy box is just where do they want to buy, what kind of properties. Some people don't want to do condos or townhouses or land. They just want single family. Some people just want multifamily. Find out what kind of properties they want. And the easy question for that is what projects have you already done? What was like your best project? What's your bread and butter? And then they'll tell you. All right?
Love that.
Addison.
How do y'all handle a buyer coming through an occupied property? Is an army of buyers a bad idea? So if you're referring to an army of buyers going into one occupied property, yes, that is. With our strategy of MLS deals, we utilize the inspection period where we're allowed to go into the property for whatever reason.
Right.
So whether I want to just go look at it again, an inspector, the appraiser has to go through, contractor, project manager, designer, yada, yada, yada. You could have a number of people that make appointments to go. So you could have a bunch of appointments with buyers in an occupied property on MLS deals. But as for like off market, I don't really mess around in that space too much with scheduling appointments, but I would assume it would be something similar.
Yeah, I can speak to that.
Yep.
I think Jamil had the greatest strategy of all time for this.
Yep.
Well, first, set an appointment.
Yes.
Right, Addison, set an appointment. Say, listen, you lock it up on Monday. Give yourself 2 or 3 days to blast it out to build the buyers to get in there and actually see it. Like, give them enough time to do their research. But honestly, most of the time, you'll probably sell them sight unseen. That's huge. I mean, it's probably a 50-50. But if they do want to see it, say, hey, listen, Mr. Seller, I'm going to come through and I'm going to break. It's going to be a circus for 2 hours, and then I'm going to be out of your hair. All right, I'm going to bring everybody through in those 2 hours from 1 to 3, just to make sure that we can move forward with the deal and everything's buttoned up, and we can move forward and get this thing done. So set the expectation. It's going to be crazy. Jamil's strategy is then show up when they're there with cinnamon rolls. Right? Show up with cinnamon rolls. Show up with some sort of treats. Show up with something for the seller where you're just sitting there at the table eating cinnamon rolls, just shooting the shit with them at the table while everybody's doing their thing. Or you're out in the porch or you're out wherever and you're just chatting it up with them. Bring them something nice. Bring them something that you can enjoy right then and there. Some coffee, some tea, some whatever, donuts, a cinnamon roll. And then just sit there and just talk to them. How's it going? Yeah, I know this will be quick.
Awesome.
They'll be in and out.
I love that.
Right? And then they're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're like, okay, I'm going to let whatever. I'm not going to worry about this.
I actually do that without realizing it because sometimes we have our inspection period and the owner hasn't left yet. I didn't realize we do this until you said that, but usually one of us stays and like kind of distracts the seller, kind of talk with them while the other one's going around doing what we need to do. Mm-hmm. Didn't even realize that until you just said that. I'm like, oh yeah, we do that.
True.
Yeah. Way to go, Albert. There you go. Josh Daniels.
Hey, thanks, Josh.
My cousin. Maybe. I don't know. Could be. Santiago, Brent, just had an investor act like an agent and try to kill my deal. Tell us more, Santiago. I'd love to unpack that, but that's interesting. So I assume that they probably went in and tried to talk to the seller to convince them that they could get more or do something else or whatever.
There's definitely lots to unpack though, because if an investor is doing that, what's their move if they're telling them that they want to that they can make more? If they're not an actual agent,
right? Yeah, they're going in to try to get the deal.
Yeah.
They're trying to backdoor. So Santiago, what they're essentially trying to do, and this is a conversation you need to have with your sellers, and this happens in some markets. Miami's notorious for it. We were Phoenix for a little while here. Certain parts of Texas has been notorious for it, where people go get the blast outs of the deals and then go to the house and try to like convince the seller that they're selling it too cheap and they're going to do a better job or whatever else. What they're essentially doing is they're trying to get somebody to breach an agreement. That could end up in a lawsuit. I mean, you could literally sue somebody for specific performance on a contract. Mm-hmm. That's not just in real estate. That's in any kind of contract. Happens mostly in business contracts when people just don't fulfill what they're supposed to do in business. But this is a business transaction.
Yep.
It is.
It's a contract.
So you need to have conversations if you're in one of those markets where you feel like a lot of people, where you're real fearful. If you blast this out, somebody's going to try to backdoor you. You need to have a conversation with your seller that says, hey, listen, once I open up escrow on this, people are going to know about it, and people are going to try to come in and get you to breach this contract. I really just, if they are trying to come here and trying to stir it up and trying to get you to break our contract, I want you to give them my number or give me their number and I'll take care of it. Okay? Because you don't want to, we don't want to bring, we want this to go as smooth as possible and keep attorneys out of this.
I don't want to mess with Brent.
Right. That's right.
From Tashida, what percentage should you offer an agent on a deal?
Nice.
I think that's there's a million different ways. You could cut them in on the wholesale fee and JV it, split it 50-50. You could pay them a flat finder's fee. The one thing that you always want to make sure that you're talking to, the question that you're asking is, do you have a signed listing contract?
Right. Because
if they do, they've already discussed commission. Usually the seller's going to be paying it to them, and then they're going to be splitting it with the buyer's agent. So we talked about that on one of the episodes, one of the recent ones. Go back and watch that. But just ask if a listing contract's signed. Again, if it's not, I'd probably just split it with them. It's more likely they'll make more money that way, and they'll be more inclined to bring you more deals.
Yeah, sometimes it's 50-50 on the deal.
Right.
I mean, if you have somebody bringing you deals all the time,
just give them 50%.
There are agents trained. I was trained this way for a decade to go out every morning, call 9 to noon, or it was really 7 to noon, but when it got real competitive, but to call every canceled listing, every expired listing that came off the market, and every for sale by owner, right? Even a lot of pre-foreclosures, right? And when you have those agents that are very proactive and they're calling out every single day, they run across deals that people just want cash offers. They just want offers on them. Mm-hmm. Right? And when they bring them to you, split the deal with them 50-50.
Yeah, who cares?
It's free.
Right.
It's free. You know what I mean? Could you imagine getting a text right now while you're watching this and somebody's like, hey, do you want to buy this deal? They want $150,000. You look at it and it's on Zillow for like $260 and the estimate's $260. You're like, all day. And then you go out and make $20,000 and they get 10, you make 10. And it took what?
Costed you nothing. Well,
an hour worth of work? 90 minutes maybe of your full-on attention, opening up escrow, working with the seller. Well, the agent's going to work with the seller anyway. So they do like all the work. It's like you have a transaction coordinator built into this deal. All you have to do is bring a buyer or be the buyer.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Incredible. Kevin, can you please explain the process of assigning a deal from the MLS?
Sure. So it's not anything different than the off-market deal.
Yep.
You get it under contract. Typically, you're going to see it on the MLS. You submit an offer. There's a few different ways you do it, whether it's unrepresented, they represent you, or you represent yourself, or you even have a buyer's agent represent you. You go in, you get it under contract. During your inspection period, if you have one, you would utilize that to then send out the deal, set up your inspections or your appointments with other buyers. They would go in, they would say, yes, I want it. They negotiate whatever. You guys go back, you make an agreement. You then sign an assignment contract with them, just like normal on an off market, send it over to title. By then, the only thing that I would add in is that you'd probably want to set the expectation with the agent, letting them know, hey, we moved it to a different LLC, or this is what we're planning on doing. Don't worry, nothing's changing, just to make sure they're not blindsided at the closing table. So,
What I think the biggest hurdle, and I think I'm reading between the lines here, maybe Kevin's not meaning this, but I think a lot of people mean this by this question is, well, what happens when the buyer sees the price on the MLS?
yeah, so 9 times out of 10, the deals you're doing on the MLS are going to be below list price. So when you're sending it out and a buyer has an issue, if they were to go look it up, let's say it's on the MLS at 200,000, but you have it under contract at 160 and you're selling it at 170, that's the conversation. Yeah, it's on the MLS at 200. I was able to get it locked up below that. It's under contract through me. It's exclusively available through me. So if you have any questions, just let me know.
Say that again, because I think you said something very beautiful there. You said the word
exclusive.
That's it.
Exclusive.
Right?
They feel like they can't go around you because they can't. And regardless, if it is a deal and the numbers make sense, even if they can see it's on the MLS, the only other hurdle you'll ever come across is if the agent hasn't switched it from active to pending, they may try to call you and go around. That's why I keep my buyers list small, but the lesson there is that if they do, you'll figure out very quickly if they go around you because the agent's going to be calling you saying, what the hell are you doing? And then you go to the buyer, you have a fun conversation with them, and then they're off your list.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But the 1 time out of 10 that I did reference is when it is above list price. Again, it is exclusively available through me. And if you are in a bidding war and you beat out 5 other offers, that means it's a hot deal. More people wanted it.
The other thing I love doing in this position, if anybody's kind of given any kind of, I'll close on this myself.
Absolutely.
I'm putting it out there. If you think it's a deal, great.
Yep.
If not, no problem. I'm going to buy this deal. I know it's a deal.
For sure.
I'm going to close on this
That's
thing.
it.
So not a problem, bro. If you don't want to buy this, I have no problem with it. I will close on it, and I'll do this deal myself.
For sure.
But if you think that this is a project you want to do, let's do business.
For sure. Yeah. And also, goes back to setting the expectations with the buyers before you're sending them deals.
Yeah.
Letting them know that you get a lot of your deals from the MLS. Because if they start having problems, you'll know from the start with that. They'll give you like, oh, there's no deals on the MLS.
Right. Nice. Guys, hit that like button. Can we put that up real quick, man? Hit that like button. If you are not subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. Even if you're not watching this live, but you just found us, hit that subscribe button. We come out with unbelievable videos every single day. Hit that like button if you're getting value out of this. It expands the algorithm, which brings more incredible people that have not seen this show, seen this channel to us for you to squat up with. That's the whole thing. So hit that like button if you're getting value. All right. What was that question? Sorry. Yick Nates. Love it. I just love the picture. When do you do agent follow-up for off-market leads as well as follow-up for offers you have made for MLS deals? And do you submit backup offers on deals that don't look promising?
Solid question.
Great
Let's go question by question here.
Yep.
So first one, how do you do agent follow-up for off-market leads? This is going to be asking them what they've got in the works. You're going to be asking them what's in their pipeline and what they've got coming up.
Text message, call, what is it?
Either or.
What
I
is
would
it,
say.
Albert?
I just texted 2 today.
Yeah.
They sent me a couple.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what you texted them?
Yeah, I was like, hey, Pat, haven't heard from you for a while. What you got in the works? And then I sent another one. I was like, hey, Tiffany, I hope you sold that last one you're talking about to me. I'm looking if you still got any more listings. What do you have for me?
Yeah.
There
They'll
you go.
just answer.
And how often did you send that?
This one I sent 2 weeks because that's the last time I talked
Perfect.
with them. A couple weeks.
Every 2 weeks,
2 to 3 weeks, yep. And then if they're a VIP agent, which we go through in the course, it's all about following up with them weekly. Aside from that, your VIPs, you shouldn't be talking to them every single week.
Yeah.
Every couple of weeks, it'll kind of flow in and it'll make it a good pattern and flow of you're not bombarding them or like overwhelming them, especially if it's an agent that doesn't do many deals, which is most of them.
Matt, let's put Ryan's course up. Just for anybody interested, if you just want the whole thing, every step, A to Z, to building your business off of getting these referrals, for getting deals off the MLS, for working with agents, agentinvestors.com. Use that TTP code to get $100 off. Yeah, if you're having a lot of these questions and you're like that feeling in your gut, you're like, you know what? I can do a lot of business with agents. Skip to the front. Save the next 18 months of patchwork of trying to figure it out and trial and error and trying to listen to the right podcasts and ask the right questions here. If you really want to just take it and save that time, that's what courses do. They save you the time.
For sure.
And it gives you attention. That's why you invest in these things. You know what I mean? If you don't invest in them, they don't get your attention.
They're all blowing up my phone, and
I mean?
I'm out here answering every single question every single day. Like, we've got students that are succeeding.
Well, and your Discord's fantastic as well.
Yeah.
How do people find that?
So it's inside the link in my bio.
Which bio?
My Instagram bio.
Got it.
Yep. So reach out to or just follow me on Instagram. Check.
Is it hard to find Discord pages?
No.
Do you just go to? Can you go to discord.com and just
slash
put in Ryan
whatever?
Zolin?
Yeah.
If you know
the URL.
If you know
Yeah.
The name.
Yeah, I'll get a custom URL made and I'll put it up so we can have it.
Okay, awesome. Because there's a lot of action in there.
Oh yeah, dude, we get hundreds of messages every single day.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think that's where Facebook screwed it all up. Facebook used to be that place.
It was.
You know what I mean? It used to be like the town square.
Oh yeah.
And now it's Discord. And it started with gaming. So like a bunch of us, like I don't know what the hell Discord is. I mean, I just got into it, right? You got me into it, and it's been really exciting.
That's awesome.
John Johnson, who supports the channel, jumping in his group. He's got like 500 people there. We're going to do a little private training there.
Love it.
It's going to be fantastic. So there. Hypothetically, if you were to start a co-wholesaling disposition business, I love it. What steps would you take in the next 75 days? Keep killing it, guys. This is literal gold. Yeah, listen, Yick Nates or Nick Yates. The number one thing is you need to have the buyer database. So you can skip up, you can get that investor lift, use the TTP coupon code, and that's going to give you access to it. Now, if you don't have a huge budget for it, you're going to, and even if you do get it, you have to start reaching out to all of the top buyers in your marketplace and really, 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 really have conversations and see what they're looking for. All right? Because if you just start sending messages out of the blue, there's going to be a lot. They're going to negotiate hard at you. They're going to see you as like, oh, okay, I don't know this guy. Let me test what's going on. Let me poke him a little bit to see where I can find the holes and see if I can get discounts on these deals. So if you have a conversation up front and you have that certainty, right, and that kindness, but you sound confident and have that conviction, they will respect you. And once you have the respect of your cash buyers, you start averaging $51,000 a deal, like our team, right? Like you. I mean, the average that you guys make between the commissions and the assignment fees, 35 grand, because of respect. If they don't respect you, then they're gonna try to beat you up every time, or they're gonna tell you, oh, that's not a deal, and hope that you put your tail between your legs and cancel that deal so that they can go and swoop it up in a week.
Right.
So I'm serious. That's how these buyers will go. But if they have the respect, they're gonna be like, oh shit, this dude's gonna sell it either way. I better jump on this.
I'm gonna take it serious. Yep.
So you gotta find the cash buyers, and then you gotta start getting people to refer you. You gotta build that pipeline of people bringing you deals. All right.
For sure.
Brent, how are you using PropStream in your business daily without the MLS feature? I use PropStream for comping properties for my TTP coaching students. I use PropStream. Actually, we've been pulling lists from batch leads. Jeremy, my disposition manager, and Jackie, my lead manager, prefer pulling it from batch leads. We found better results. We've tested both, and so they've really focused on batch leads about 6 months ago, and we have 6 months of actual results that we can look at, and that's been phenomenal. I just think at this point, and I talk to Batch a lot. I'm in Batch's office right now until I buy it, and in July, boom, yes. But the app PropStream's app is easier to use. It's easier to use, but I assume Batch will throw a bunch of money at their app and figure it out. It's the little things. It's like that Face ID login.
Yep.
Like, I love that. Like, I think every app should have that. Anyway, but it's easier to use for pulling comps, in my opinion. The app is on the fly. So there you go. Tyrone, hey guys, do you have a couple books for the mindset? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. You talk and I'll pull some out.
Yeah, so I mean, mine are more so, I think, towards like business for my mindset. That's where I was like needing a lot of it recently. But I would say like the typical place to start, in my opinion, that'd be great would be Think and Grow Rich. I think that's a book that we haven't done a show on that one, Brent, have we? We did Rich Dad Poor Dad. We should do Think and Grow Rich. We should do a book on that. That's probably
Tyrone,
the best.
have you read this?
Yeah, best book.
Have you read this? Put it in the comments. If you haven't, I'll send it to you.
There you go.
All right? I'll send, you know what?
Oh, what?
Let's give another one.
Oh, good. What's that other book?
If somebody else wants it, we got to get to 150 likes, and I'll send these out. I'll send this to you, Tyrone, if you haven't read it, but it's fantastic. I'll send this out. We'll send some shirts out. I love this. This one, especially as you're getting started. Look how thin that is. You can read this in one day. And a little tip for everybody that's out there reading. If you read, and I got this from Alex Hormozy, if you read and get the Audible and listen to the Audible as you're reading, it like really puts it in there because you're getting hit two different senses, right? Your eyes and your ears. And it helps you really stay focused, in my opinion. He's read it. Okay.
Cool.
Well, we'll send it out to the two winners.
Another one. There's one more I'm trying to
of the likes. And then this one. This is the number one. This is my number one right here. This really resets it. The 5 laws of stratospheric success. And look at that. I like short to the point books. Both of these are kind of parable books, so it's not very tough to get through. These two are really, 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 really solid.
Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil, sure.
That's a very good one.
Yep, that's another Napoleon Hill. Yeah, and I like going through and highlighting and earmarking. Like, I'll go through. These are like trophies to me. And as a young man, I kept giving away my trophies to people because I was like, you got to read this so that we could talk, and then you never get your trophies back. So now I'm just like, yeah, I'll send it to you on Amazon, whatever. Go through these, highlight them, like really focus, and then the next time you go through them, I could reread this book in 15 minutes because I'll just read the highlighted parts that really like hit the synapses in my brain once I looked at it. You know what I mean? So there's some good ones there. Yep. We're halfway there. Let's get to 150 likes. I want to send these books out, and I want to send some TTP swag out to you. All right? What are your thoughts on buying a condo that needs work, living in while fixing up, and selling it in 2 years? I love it. It's a house hack.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is Bigger Pockets 101. This is kind of, in my opinion, that's fine. This is like part-time amateur, right? Where you're just kind of like, you're just getting in there and you're doing your thing and you're going to sell it, and that's great.
Yep.
But to go pro, you need to start doing some deals that you don't just live in and fix up and sell in 2 years. You need to go out, find some ugly houses, and sell it to people that want to do something special with it. Build that bank account. And then all of a sudden, you're looking at your account, and you're like, holy cow, I have $237,000 in my bank account right now after taxes. Woo! What am I gonna put this into? Right? Yeah. Remember that feeling? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where you're looking at that thing, and you're like, I'm the richest man alive. You know what I mean? I remember I asked my mentor, I said, what is that like number in your account that you just finally you felt like security as an entrepreneur? 300,000. It was 300,000. That's what he said. Brian North, incredible real estate agent, was a wholesaler, became a luxury real estate agent, built an incredible brokerage, has incredible clientele, works here in Arcadia, just makes $1 bazillion selling luxury deals. He's incredible. Ephra's World. Is it better to call out the owner by their first name or last name? First.
Hey, yo, Daniels.
Yeah, first for sure. No, but in some market, I'm telling you, in certain parts of the country, people like call themselves by their last name. It's a whole thing, right? But I would say first name.
First name.
Yeah, and I wouldn't do the full name, Ephra. It's a great question. I get it. It's a great question. Just call them their first name. Hey, I'm looking for Albert. And then they're like, oh, okay, great. You know what I mean? But some people go, hi, I'm looking. I think what he means is
Mr. Bowie.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm looking for Mr. Bowie.
Yeah.
Right?
That's all it is.
Right. Right. But if people just call you by your first name.
Yeah. Or you're going to make the mistake and call them Mrs. And then they're like,
yeah.
I'm a widow.
Or Miss. And they're like,
it is Mrs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a person, okay? Not just a title.
Jeez.
My man! I'm excited to do some work in your Discord, brother. Do I need the seller to sign an affidavit memorandum?
The answer is no, right?
No. No, John.
Once they've executed, you just
No,
get it
once you
notarized.
have that purchase contract, I mean, hopefully you don't have to deal with it. I've got another deal, and the seller got a higher offer, and she already accepted mine. What do? You tell her that we have a committed signed agreement. She is not allowed to breach the contract. If you breach the contract, you're going to be forced to have to get your attorney involved. Mm-hmm. That usually calms it down. Okay? Do we have any celebration? Anybody closing deals? What are we doing?
Okay, I got a text from Amber today. She just said Brandon on the team got 2 deals today.
All right.
So, I mean,
let's loosen up this belt.
Let's go, Brandon.
Come on. Let's go. Be brave. Talk to us about what... Love it.
Sorry. Let's see. I don't know what the details are. She's got Amber. Post a comment, so you got to get used to doing that. No. She just says 2 deals. I'm like, I don't know.
That's fantastic.
2 deals.
So, John, just have that conversation. Just be like, we committed to each other on a purchase agreement. It's a binding agreement. What you're asking to do is to breach the contract. I really don't want to get my attorney involved.
Yep.
So there you go.
Boom.
You got this, John. Fat Deezy. Where do I need to start with watching your videos? I'm all over the place right now, but I'm in such a low point in my life, and I'm ready to get serious. Listen, remember, rock bottom is the strongest foundation. Not saying that you're there, but if you're feeling that low point, great. Now it's time to strengthen your foundations here, right? It's time to start taking action. What I would do, I'd go to ttpinsider.com, and I'd go through the free wholesaling course. Like, it's right there. It's going to set you up. It's going to give you like pure instruction. This isn't like education, me teaching you all about, the vocabulary words. This is how to go out there and get deals. And it's right in there. It's right in there. And I would start, honestly, take that course, and that's part of it, and then download the 75-day challenge. For real. And that's how you start taking action. The content is there to give you the instruction. The content there is to give you community. The content there is to give you the coaching. But the most important thing is it's to make you feel confident to go and take the action. You're low. Anytime that I've ever been low, I knew that it was because I was idle. You know what I mean? Idle hands do the devil's work, for real. So don't let that creep into you. Just start taking that action. Start driving for dollars. Start knocking on some doors. Start getting the phone numbers and calling some people, and just start building that momentum. And you need to find incredible people to surround yourself with.
75-day challenge.
Yeah. 75-day challenge.
Ooh,
okay, Landon. Look at that handsome smile. Come on.
Let's go.
Now we're talking. Now people are being brave. Got my first wholesale deal last week. Come on. That's how you ring it, Ryan.
Okay.
Not that weak ass.
Dude, last time I did it, I broke your ears. So I just.
You're like,
because
hey, Brent.
You know what?
Daniel,
you ready?
Radcliffe.
Y'all ready for this next one?
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Don't
You're just punching at me. It's all boom. Smashes me in the face. All right, Daniel. Daniel Radcliffe. That gets me every time. It's Harry Potter. Yeah. Hey, Brent. I have a list of 900 driving for dollars leads and have a triple line dialer, and I start calling at 9 a.m., but barely get anybody to answer. I skip trace through batch. Is everybody at work? No. What dialer are you using?
Right.
If you're using batch dialer, you might have some settings set on there that are throwing it off. I would highly suggest that you talk to whatever dialer you have and see what's happening there, because it's a connection issue. It's not a data issue. It really is. So, and then also, Daniel, you need to make sure that you're using those clean caller ID numbers. Okay, because if it's showing up as spam likely, which I am telling you, I get a lot of calls. I get a lot of calls just karma, I guess, of teaching so many people. But I get a lot of calls, and they all come up as spam likely because the numbers are burnt out and people are too lazy to replace them, or they just don't know that they need to.
Right.
So, yeah, I would highly suggest that you check your caller ID. Yep.
From Adam. Hey there, actually taking a brief 15-minute break right now from cold calling. My question is how to get out of the imposter syndrome while taking these potential leads.
Love it. Well, a couple of different things, Adam. First, labels, self-talk. Labels, self-talk, right? If you label yourself a powerful investor that gets deals done, I'm a powerful communicator, I'm a powerful entrepreneur, I'm powerful at going out there and serving my community, these are the things that start really making a difference, right? It's the labels that you're going in there, because your reticular activator in your brain will focus on the things that you keep constantly putting it in there.
True.
So saying that you're newbie, saying that you're doing these things, like all that, get out of there. Imposter syndrome, I get it. But a couple different things. One, make sure that you have the financial backing. Make sure that you squad up with somebody, and it's just find the biggest buyers in your market. Find investors. Find them on Instagram. Find them anywhere. Go on to Google wholesale real estate, or go into LinkedIn and see who does property development, or does fix and flip, or does or really powerful realtors, or whatever else. And then just reach out to them and say, hey, listen, if I find a smoking hot deal, because I'm calling every day, I'm being really proactive. If I find this really smoking hot deal, will you be my financial partner on this thing, and we split the deal? They will say yes.
Absolutely.
So now mentally, you know, oh shoot, I've got 10 million bucks that I can play with, right? I've got unlimited funds that I can play with. Now I'm going to go out there and confidently speak to them as the buyer, because you've got these financial backers. And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't get you tripped up by locking up a deal too high, because you talk to these partners as you're starting, or these local mentors or coaches or whatever else, and you say, hey, listen, what price, what's the highest I can go in this price? And they'll give it to you, and then you lock up a deal, you know you're going to get paid.
Yep.
So there's just uncertainty when you're getting started, but a lot of self-talk, a lot of labeling, a lot of the stuff that you do internally really matters, and then just have the financial backing to be able to do it.
That's it.
Yeah, because you are only feeling imposter because you don't have the $300,000 that you're offering somebody for that property. So find it. You got to find it.
Yeah, and also too, it's like challenging people to like think of it differently. So like when you buy a house, for example, you go and get a loan. Most people don't have cash to go and buy a house. They have the ability to qualify for somebody else to loan it to them.
Sure.
It's the same thing here, whether it's a private money investor, a hard money lender, or even somebody you're squatting up with. You're utilizing other people's money. That's the beauty of this. You're not an imposter. If anything, you're a winner because you're utilizing other people's money.
Yep. How are we doing on our likes? We're getting it up there. Let's get to 150 likes, guys. 44. We need 44 more likes. If you're just jumping on here, we're going to send out to 2 lucky audience members. I don't know what it is. Yeah. All 100's going to pick them out, and we're going to send you some TTP swag. We're going to send you Think and Grow Rich. Even if you've read it, give it to your friends, give it to your kids, give it to anybody. And yeah, it just means a lot to us when you support the show and hit that like button. All right. Desiree. When in negotiations with the seller on the property initially, should we pre-open escrow to verify property's clear of judgments and liens? Have any of you got stuck with a property that had liens? Do not do this.
Do not.
The title company will hate you for this. Yeah, because if you're if they're doing all this work and you don't even have the deal locked up yet, and they will not like that.
They won't even. They'll probably tell you no.
So yeah, sometimes it happens. Very rarely do the sellers not know that there's like a random lien or some random judgment on the property that needs to be paid off before that deal gets done.
True.
So don't do research until you get a
contract.
People do research before they even reach out to see if somebody wants to sell their property. I get it. It's going through the reps. You're doing the comps. You're pulling some information. You want to know what you can offer before you even call them. Stop it. It all starts with the conversation, unless it's on the market already. But if you're going direct to the seller, I am telling you, do not do research until you have a conversation and see if they want to sell and have a timeline. It's important. Yep. It's a good question. It's a good question because it's kind of a mystery, you know. What if you do all this work and you're doing all these things and then and you get it sold and there's liens? Then you tell the cash buyer, listen, a lien popped up.
There's liens, yeah.
Yep.
From Michael Tolliver, I just had someone sell a property behind my back with a quick claim deed. How do I make sure that never happens again? So I think there's a little bit to unpack there too. Like if you had a contract, was escrow opened? If they went and did a quick claim deed behind you, that probably means escrow wasn't opened. Just make sure that what you could do in the future is just over communicate with the seller, making sure that doesn't happen where expectations are set. You have the contract, like Brent said earlier. You tell them, we have a fully executed contract. We're going to be closing on this date. You're keeping in communication with them. But yeah, there's some stuff to unpack here to see exactly where it kind of fell through the cracks.
Yeah, that's a communication thing. Like, did it not go through title?
Yeah, right.
I assume it didn't.
Right.
And that could be some issues. So, Michael, what you might want to do is record the memorandum of sale. Because when that person that's like, oh, listen, I'll just give you the cash and here's the quick claim and we'll do this. We won't need to go through title. Okay, great. Here comes that cloud and title when they go to try to sell this.
Yeah.
Because you had it locked up. You had it under contract. Technically, they're not allowed to do that. You can take legal action if you choose to do that.
Yep. We need to get that list.
What's that? How can I get an agent list to cold call? I love it. Google Dr. Bill's real estate agent list. Well, first of all, here's a couple. That's going to give you that. You're going to have to pay for that, Malaysia. But you can go to Realtor.com right now. And go to find a real estate agent and then just start calling down the list. Now, if you want, I don't know if you can export that list from Realtor.com.
I don't believe you can, but just remember, there's a beautiful thing about, again, how you look at this. With Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, all these sites, these are not just agents that they're like randomly putting it from a directory they cycle through. These are realtors that are taking their hard-earned cash and they're putting it into marketing to get more people like yourself to call them. So the one thing I will give you as a tip and a trick here, do not click on their name. Do not click, I'm trying to request an appointment. Do not schedule anything with that realtor because every time you click that button, it charges their account. Out of courtesy, what you could do is just call the number that's right below their name and reach out to them that way. And if you even get to the part of the conversation, you could explain that to them like, hey, I didn't want to click your information. I'm aware that that might cost you some money, and I didn't want to be that guy. If you throw that line in these conversations with the agents, I promise you they'll respect you.
And if you just want to easy and organize and in an Excel format that you could put into a dialer, Dr. Bill's real estate agent list. I don't even know who Dr. Bill is.
Me either.
I don't even think he's a real doctor.
Honestly, I haven't even checked the site. I'm just relying on what you're saying. So.
I think I'm going to just start calling myself doctor. I don't think Dr. Bill is a real doctor. Based on his... the reason I say Google it is because it's the silliest... It's the silliest URL of all time.
So, I mean, here's the other thing, too. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I guess we'll find out.
Go for it.
Batch Leads is going to have it here in the next, 2-3 months. So.
With agents?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Nadia, great to see you. What if owner doesn't want an inspection time, house needs work? What's the best way to estimate the repairs?
I would be more curious to figure out why they don't want an inspection time. 9 times out of 10 in this instance, it's because they think they're in such a hot market that they can just get everything that they're asking for, which goes back to what we've talked about in the show, communication and expectations. As long as you're communicating with them, telling them why it's almost required you would need an inspection period, just tell them like, hey, I'm buying a house that is $300,000, $400,000, $500,000.
Fix up repair.
I don't want to go in and do this without knowing what I'm buying. You could commit to the price you're at outside of something big ticket item potentially popping up, but just say it's for your own due diligence. You'd like to just know what you're going to be buying.
Yep.
So. Yeah,
right here, Nadia. Check this out. Now, if you're in a market where the price points are, 500,000, 400, 500,000 and plus for the average properties, add about 20% to these numbers because labor costs are more now. They are, and we've adjusted these numbers up. But that's just take a screenshot of this, and you could use that. The question I have is, okay, the seller doesn't want you to come through the house. Do they really want to sell it?
True.
Do they really want to sell it? I would ask the question, if you can't sell it to somebody like sight unseen, what are you going to do?
That's a great line.
You know what I mean? What's going to happen?
Yep.
Because I think that's really important to know because that'll let you know their motivation. Or, honestly, the way that they respond, you're going to figure out if they're an asshole or not.
True.
They're
So
like,
that's a good line.
what?
Because they're gonna be like, well,
Why you
I
asking
know
me
what my
that?
house is worth.
I don't have to tell you that. You just randomly called me. Blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, okay.
They never
This
wanted
is
to
not
sell.
somebody I want to do business with.
Right.
And then you move on because there's 330 million Americans. All right. There are so many properties. There's like 140 million properties. There's so many opportunities. We don't have to deal. We don't have to mess with this. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Okay. Have a closing scheduled May 16th.
Oh.
Sign another contract tomorrow. Buying Ryan's course now. Use his code, dude.
There you go. TTP. Make sure. Let's see how Ryan does in this bell ring.
This is for the course.
There
This
we
is
go.
for Brandon. This is for Brett. Yeah.
Julio.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Look at you.
I'm an adult now.
Hitting that weight room. Yep. Willingness to understand. Do I need earnest money to do an assignment deal? It depends on what state you're in. What I would do is just Google, do you need earnest money in whatever state? In Arizona, you do. It's called consideration, right? And for a valid contract to be made, you need to have consideration. You just have to see if that is what it is in your state. If so, it could be $1.
True.
I mean, there might be minimums. Like North Carolina, there's like a $200 inspection deal fee or something.
There's like another earnest money in a lot of states too.
Mark, realtor is second guessing my proof of funds and wants to see previous properties I've closed on or purchased.
Yep.
How do you go about this, especially being, let's let Albert hit this real quick. How do you go about this, especially being new with nothing under my belt?
Mark, I'm sure you've done some deals before, so I would 100% go to your cash buyer and ask him, hey, do you have some after pictures or before and after pictures of your property? I'm trying to send another deal to you. I need some help proving to this agent that the property will close. And from then on, that should really help your case to do go with your proof of funds. But I would also suggest backing up even further. What we were talking about at the beginning of the show is conviction, right?
Get it.
Going with, on talking to the realtor on the phone and proving to them that, yes, with 100% confidence, you're going to close on it and give them no further reason to second guess you. And that will help you avoid this little debacle down the road.
I love it. I also, Mark, I'm going to be honest with you. You'll probably run into this a lot. The best agents that I've gotten referrals from they don't care.
We don't care at all. Dude, we've got a guy.
They don't care. Like somebody that's like by the book and old school, and they're like, oh, I'm looking at this proof of funds, and I'm going to do the research, and I'm going to call the proof of funds and see what's going on, and blah, 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 blah. Those are not people that are going to send you deals.
Those are the realtors that read the CC&Rs.
Well, yeah, exactly. Jeez. Yeah, it's for real. But honestly, like, I get it. And I understand that they are they're responsible and have a fiduciary responsibility for their clients, and they're doing their job. But the best agents do deals, and they're just like, is it a deal? Do I think this person can close? Great, let's get this thing going, right?
Dude, there's a realtor that's like one of our best ones right now that keeps bringing us opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Every time he sent us a deal, he's been in Mexico.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. He's out there just doing deals. He's just consistent. He doesn't give a shit what we do. As long as we close, he's like, I got my commission. They're cash. There's no appraisal. As is. Done.
Done. Boom.
From,
How are we doing on likes? Getting close? 24.
We got it.
24 more likes in the next 17 minutes. Guys, if you are getting value, hit that like button, and I'm going to send you out some swag. Send you out some swag and some Think and Grow Rich books. We're almost there. Participate. If you're getting value out of it, it means a whole bunch to us. It really does. It means a lot to us. All right. When reaching out to wholesalers you are trying to dispo for, how would you start that conversation so they don't think you're a fraud right off the bat? Every single person, including Jamil, that started this whole dispo thing, when is the buyer? When is the buyer? Jamil did a really interesting thing when he went and he would tell everybody, hey, listen, I'm the buyer on this thing, and I want to be your best buyer, but please don't share my name with your friends. I want to just work with the best of the best.
Wow.
Yeah. He said, don't share my name. And everybody's like, yeah, I need to find deals for this guy. I need to find deals for this guy. I need to find deals with this guy. I was like, who's the guy? They're like, he told me not to tell anybody. It's like, what is this mystery going? Yeah, for real.
That's so good.
Yeah, he said, just please do not share your name with other agents. Please don't share it with other investors. I just don't want to be bombarded with people that aren't really serious. I know you're serious, but please just, bring it to me. So then they wouldn't tell other people. So then he would keep making those calls all day long. So everybody, one, felt very special that they had this secret buyer in town. And two, they were like out there hunting for all these deals from everybody else to try to bring it to him.
All fighting to bring the same thing back
To the same
one guy.
person. The mystery man.
Brilliant.
Yep. So you have to go as the buyer
That's it.
because they'll wholesale it themselves. Yep. Isaiah, where can we get proof of funds letters? Well, one, you can get them from your hard money or private money lenders. All right, you can get that and just call them up and just get that from anybody locally. You can get it from you could Google proof of funds. You could get it from Kogo Capital.
They're
You
everywhere.
could get it from Jerry Norton. You can get them from all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not hard to find. Yeah, not hard to find at all. All right. Rolling with Zolin.
How can I get one of those artsy pictures of me made? Excuse me if this is not the place to ask. No, you're good, bro. I think he's referring to the NFTs.
Yeah.
They're trading on OpenSea. Join our Discord and send a message to us out there. We'll get you taken care of.
How do you find your Discord for people just jumping on the end?
Yeah, Instagram.
The last 15 minutes of the show?
Yep. Go to my Instagram, click on the link in my bio, join our Discord. It is 100% free. I like to post everything before it goes on social media and public in our Discord. So.
It was fantastic. You want to have a great time, take a 5-year-old to Disneyland. It is magical. Plus, listen, let's be honest, ladies. You guys all love Disneyland. You guys all love it. My wife is she would go there all the time. She probably went there 5-10 times with her family, has just wonderful memories of it. And it was more for her than it was for Bo. It was incredible. It was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. Yeah, it's really cool.
Sweet.
It's really cool that it just opened up and all the characters were able to hug the kids and do the normal Disney thing, and everybody didn't have to wear masks or show vaccine cards. It was really cool. Yeah. Thank you for asking. That's awesome. If it's an on-market property, isn't it technically already under contract with an agent? How can you put a contract on a property already under contract? Or does it work as a JV and you're just the buyer?
So in an on-market transaction, let's go back to the start.
Yep.
You have a seller of a house and you have an agent that they employ. This is where they sign the listing contract.
Right.
The listing contract employs that agent that is the seller's agent to represent them by selling their home. It goes on to the MLS, the multiple listing services, on market. It is then sent out to everybody and their uncle. In that point, they're relying on buyer's agents or people that are actual buyers to come in and potentially be a buyer for that property. And then they are going to use in the listing contract the commission that's split down the middle as incentive for the buyer's agent to bring a buyer to the table. So it is not under contract. It has a listing contract signed for it to be an employment contract. Think of it like that allows them to put it on the MLS.
Yep.
So that employment contract allows them to go and search for another contract that will make it under contract for the house.
The agents aren't buyers.
Correct.
They represent the buyer
It
or
is
they
a job.
represent the seller.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. It's a service.
That's awesome. How do we get around the agent's contract if it has no assignment clause?
Buy it. Double close. That's it. That's literally it. If it says there's no assignment in there, you have one of two options. You can either ask them to take it out, which might come across like, ooh, why? Then you have to have a good case and reason as to why you are asking them to remove it. Otherwise, you just double close it. Say, no worries, sounds good. I typically don't know which LLC it's going to be in. I could be fully transparent in this process if you don't mind taking that out. Otherwise, it's all good. I could close it. I just have to do a quick claim over. It's going to be a little bit extra paperwork on my end, on the back end. It's fine. It is what it is. But if that's the only route to go, I could do that.
And talk to the title company or closing attorney, Isaiah, and see if it's required.
True.
Is it required for it to literally say and or assignment or this contract is assignable?
Right.
Most contracts are assignable unless they say they're not assignable.
Right. And
Hashtag not an attorney. Will you put that up, please?
Right.
Check with your title company and closing attorney. What's the best way to build a buyer's list when virtual wholesaling?
Facebook.
Talk about it.
Go to a Facebook group, post in there. Got to play the game a little bit here. I'd put out working on a property in blah, blah, blah city or blah, blah, blah zip code, even if you don't have it under contract, but you have looked at it and you're maybe working it or communicating this with your person you've squatted up with that is your buyer, you could just put out there, hey, I'm working on a deal in this zip code. You're going to get flooded with a bunch of people that are going to be asking you about more information. They're going to be posting their emails. They're going to be just tagging other people. Reach out to every single one of them and then qualify them. Ask them about their proof of funds. Ask them if you could see their past deals. Ask them if they have any testimonials. Things that will make them a valid actual buyer. Or if anything, you'll learn that they're a wholesaler and then maybe they could help you sell a deal that you don't have a buyer for. Regardless, you're just talking to people. You're creating more relationships. But absolutely start on social media.
Investor Lift. It's been created.
That too.
Guys, I'm telling you, we're using it on a daily basis throughout the entire country for my TTP coaching students that have tried to put it out there. They're not getting the traction that they want because they're just getting started. So they go to Jeremy, they go to TTP Insider, they go into that. There's a JV button in there, and they submit the deals in there, and Jeremy goes out and sells those deals through Investor Lift. Obviously, he's an incredible,
powerful.
Yeah.
It's very powerful.
Use the TTP code, guys. Use that TTP code in there. Okay. What do we got? We got Justin. I have a deal that was supposed to close yesterday, and the contract expired. Title told me they can just have seller sign an addendum to extend. Is this true? If they're saying it, yeah, that happens all the time,
Right.
Justin. But the question is, why did it expire?
Yeah, like was it just supposed to close yesterday and it didn't close? Because if that's the case, sometimes like
That's your cash buyer.
yeah,
Or you, if you are the cash buyer.
right.
But if that's the...
or it could be title if they just were dragging their feet for whatever reason.
Right.
But still, though, I mean, if they're telling you just to get an addendum signed, just get an addendum signed. This is what I always say. There's usually two things that get people thrown off in this industry: contracts and escrow. Contracts are fixable through an addendum, and title will tell you what you need. So if the title company is telling you what you need and it is an addendum, here you are.
Love it. Video grab bag. What are driving for deal leads worth? These are abandoned properties in a hot area. How do I partner with a wholesaler for them to find owners and get it under contract? That's great. Fortunate thing is we've got how many people are on here right now? We've got people in the comments. Like we've got 120 people in the comments. Squad up. Tell everybody where you're at, Video Grab Bag, and squad up. That's how you connect. Come to our Wednesday show. Come to the Thursday show. Come to Wholesale Hotline on Monday where there's 600 to 800 people live, right? Like that's how you squad up, find people in that area, and they'll walk you through it. You know what I mean? That's how you do it, brother or sister, whatever you are. Why do I keep? I just figure it's a bro with an eagle, thumbnail. But maybe I'm crazy. More than you think asks, why do you keep ads from Pace Morby saying wholesaling is dead, but his two main homies steady saying it's not? I don't understand that question. What is the question?
I think maybe.
He's saying Pace is saying wholesaling is dead, but you guys are saying it's not.
Well, he's trying to sell creative finance, so.
Why do I keep seeing? Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, I think like they're
I
saying
don't know.
like his ads.
Yeah, why do I keep ads from Pace Morby? I have no idea what Pace Morby's ads say, but I assume it made you click on them, so they got you.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's what ads do.
Right.
So you have to be sensational with ads to get clicks, I guess.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Wholesaling's not dead though.
Yeah.
Not dead.
Oh, Flagstaff. Fantastic, brother.
Good stuff.
You're here with us.
Welcome.
Yeah. Anything you need, reach out. Just send me an email at brent@talktopeople.com, and we'll get you connected, brother. That's awesome. Jared, how can I get a deal this week with no budget? Talk to people.
That's it.
Jared, you got to find a deal. So
It's not going to come to you.
what if it took you a month? What if it took you 90 days? Do you have a longer runway than a week? The best wholesalers that I know, on average, it takes them 6 months to do their first deal. Seriously.
Yep.
So, Jared, if you want to have a deal this week, then talk to 200 people this week. Talk to 200 people, have a good quality conversation, use the TTP script, and see if they want to sell their property. You will find it. You will find a deal. But you got to put in a lot of calls. You got to talk to a lot of people. You got to talk to a lot of real estate agents. You got to talk to a lot of distressed property owners. Brian, hi. Is it true that there's a fee for an agent to take a property off the MLS? Agent asking that we pay the $90 in order to take the property off while under contract. Great. If that's their policy, I've never heard of that.
So it's all
I've
gonna
never
be,
heard of that. That might be a little.
I've seen
that
it before.
might be a little lunch money.
I've seen
you
it.
know?
That's all it is. So I've seen it before. They're saying that
Company policy.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
company policy. My broker requires this. Blah 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 blah. There's work that we put into marketing this. Obviously, I failed because you would like to take it off the market, but it's going to cost you $90. It's going to be gas money. It's going to be their lunch money. It's going to be something that they feel that is reimbursing them for what they put into either marketing or into their time. So if it's $90. If you're trying to take it off the market, in my opinion, it's a cheap cost. Just pay them $90. It is what it is. Otherwise, if you want to go the contractual route, if they have a listing agreement signed, they very well could tell you no.
Are people able to like on Instagram? No? It's just a live thing? Got it.
Let's do this, and then he's gonna choose the 2 winners.
We got it?
50, yeah.
We got 150?
Yeah, but do this
Why didn't you tell me? Hey, Canadian wholesaler.
because he has to pick it.
There we go. Closing on May 26th for a $20K fee on a property. Got under contract for $75K. You know what's awesome about this, Canadian? Typically, in wholesaling, we earn 10%. That's typically what it is. You went bananas on this thing. Basically did it at like 25%, probably 27.5, somewhere in there. Absolutely incredible. Here you go. Whoop.
That's all you got? Just
That's
kidding.
all you got. That is incredible. I love it. $20K fee. We're going to announce the winners. Alejandra's going to reach out to you. We're going to put together a swag bag. So we need your size shirt and your address. We're going to add these 2 books and send it to you. Brian and I are going to write a special little note in here, and it'll be yours. So that is fantastic. Albert, who'd you select?
Alejandro just put that in the chat. But
Okay.
We got a Julian Cruz.
Julian Cruz.
Julian Cruz.
Fantastic.
Congratulations, my friend.
That's
And,
awesome.
Our second winner is.
Brianna.
Boom.
Thank you,
Brianna or
Ziona.
Brianna? I think it's Brianna, but it could be Brianna.
Ziona.
Either way, thank you for the support. Wow, 150 likes
Hell yeah.
in 90 minutes. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. That means so much to us. It really does. And just connecting and getting together and finding people in the community that are doing this thing. It's so important. It's so important. Let's close with our Millionaire Before 30 blueprint, just so that we can round it out, so that we know what the core of this show is all about, guys. It starts with doing a deal. That's what this 75-day challenge is all about. Maybe you've already done a deal, but let's add some deals to it. And if you've never done a deal, start going after it. That's how you start it. You do a deal first. Cross that bridge from faith to fact. Cross that bridge.
Absolutely. Transition to full-time in the business. We're fully aware that you guys could be doing this part-time, or you're trying to make this a side hustle. Where the true magic happens is once you don't just have the transition from faith to fact, it's when you're able to actually put all of your efforts and energy into doing this 40, 50, 60 hours a week, if not more. You're able to go full-time, which leads to presenting more opportunities on your plate.
January through October, people, the average American is paying taxes and interest. January through October.
Crazy.
Google it. The only way to reduce, you're going to have to pay taxes. I'm just telling you, that's the rent we pay for this country, to live in this beautiful country. But kill the debt. Get rid of stop being somebody else's ROI. Stop going out there and working just to pay. Stop being a monthly payment type person.
Yep.
We live in a payment society. We have to break out of that. Stop that, right? If you can't afford it, don't buy it. And as you start making these big checks, pay off that student loans, pay off that credit cards, pay off that car, pay off any of these consumer debts that you have. I am telling you, you're going to feel like you did when you were in 6th grade. When you didn't have a care in the world, you know what I mean? Before you had any responsibilities, when you were just running around and you were carefree and life was good and the sun was shining and the birds were chirping and it was just puffy clouds everywhere, right? That's what's going to happen when you pay off your debt. I am telling you, it is like all of a sudden you press reset on your adult life and you're like, holy shit, I can just do anything.
True.
Stop being somebody's ROI.
Invest into assets. So get back to level 1. Understand that, okay, everything is now up from here. I'm back to 0. You're going to invest into assets, not liabilities. These assets are going to create this beautiful thing that we talk about all the time in real estate called cash flow.
Yep.
These assets are going to be paying you. It's going to be appreciating, hopefully, but it's going to be investing into things that are going to give you some kind of ROI, a nice return on investment. Obviously, this is step 4, which will lead to our 5th and final step that we are all trying to achieve, which is
financial freedom, aka control. Control of the time you have left. Control of what you put your attention to. That's what it is about.
Yep.
What do you want to put your attention to? Is it missionary? Is it helping out people that can't help out themselves? Is it building something great? Is it just being around your family? Is it chilling on a beach, drinking a margarita, right? Drinking a Corona with Snoop Dogg, right? What is it? Where do you want to put your attention? Right. That's control. That's financial freedom. You get that when all of your money, you're not getting earned income from your efforts. You're getting investment income. You're getting a return on your investments. Your money is now providing value for you. That's the change. We love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting it. Thank you for squatting up in the comments. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.